guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here, and in today's class we're going to continue with our Math 9 content on slopes. So with that, let's get started. So I'm going to take some questions again from the textbook. So in the couple of these questions are going to be very general, so it's kind of like a review here. Okay, so let me write down the question, okay, on the board. So we have y equals 3x plus 5. Okay, the question says state the slope and the y-intercept for the line that's represented by each equation. Okay, and so that's what we're gonna do here. Okay, so if you look at the slope, okay, the slope in this case is whatever is in front of the x. So I see that I have a 3 here. The slope is going to be positive 3. Okay, at the same time here, we're gonna look at the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept is the number that is by itself. So in this case, take the sign in front. So the y-intercept is equal to positive 5. Okay, and let's try actually graphing this out as a review as well. So what we're going to do is just draw the Cartesian plane like this. Okay, always start off with the y-intercept. Okay, so I see the y-intercept is at 5. Okay, so positive 5. I'm just going to make some points here. Make sure you do label, okay, all the points on the Cartesian plane. Okay, and what we're going to use here for the slope is 3 over 1. Okay, so one more time, make sure you remember the definition for slope, which is equal to the rise over the run. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to start with positive 5. Okay, the slope is 3 over 1, so the rise is 3. So we're going up by 3, okay? So 1, 2, 3, I'm right here at 8, okay, and the run is 1, so you're going to move to the right by 1. Okay, so right here. Again, make sure you do use a ruler, okay, when you're graphing out all of these linear equations. I'm going to just join these points together like this and make a straight line. Okay, and a good way to do like a mental check here when you're graphing out the linear equations is looking at the slope, because I see that the slope is positive. So again, the slope is positive, it's going to be increasing that way. If the slope was negative, then the line would actually be coming down. Like, so for example, the line would be coming down like this. Okay, and that shows you that the equation or the linear equation has a negative slope. Okay, are there any questions? Good, let's try one more example here. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. And again, make sure you do practice, okay, graphing out these equations. So that is actually really important. Okay, so let's try one where you have a negative here. Okay, so let's try one with a negative slope. Okay, so let's try this one. So y equals negative 1 over 2x, okay, plus 6. So one more time, I should be able to write down and identify the slope and the y-intercept given the equation. Okay, so in this case, the slope is whatever is in front of the x value, so negative 1 over 2. Okay, this is the slope. If you're looking at the y-intercept, I want to take the sign that is in front as well. So I see that it's positive 6 here. So I'm going to put positive 6. All right, are there any questions? So we are going to try graphing this one out, okay? And I can see that the slope here in this case is actually negative, okay? So again, start off with the y-intercept. So I'm going to start off with positive 6. We're going to make a dot there as well, okay? And again, if you have graph paper, I would make sure I'm graphing it on graph paper to make sure all the linear equations that you are graphing out are very accurate, okay? So we're starting off with positive 6 here for the y-intercept, okay? This time you notice that the slope is negative, okay? So the rise, we're just going to put this on top. The rise is negative 1. So when it's negative, instead of going up, I'm just going to move down. Okay, so we're going down by 1. So I'm right here at 5. Okay, but the run is positive 2. Okay, so because it's positive 2, I have to move to the right 2 times. Okay, so we're going to move like 1 and 2. Okay, so this is where the next point is. So that second point is actually at 2 and 5, okay, if you want to look at the coordinate. Okay, if I want, again, another point on the same line, you just follow the same pattern, okay? The rise is negative 1, okay, and the run is 2. Just going to look like this. Okay, and you notice that all of the points are forming a linear pattern here. So I can just join all these dots together. Okay, again, use a ruler here. Okay, and this line should be going through all of the points as well. Okay, anytime you graph a linear equation, or any equation for that matter, okay, make sure you're writing the equation right beside the graph itself, okay, or right beside the line. So this is y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 6. Okay, and that way you can actually check, okay, what the graph looks like. I can actually check my answer at the same time. Okay, all right, that looks good. So let's move on here, okay, and let's try some of the algebraic questions associated with slope as a review. So let me take this off. Okay, let's go through actually before we start. Okay, let's pick 2 points here, and we're going to use the slope formula to find out what the slope is first. Okay, so let's do 2 and 4. Okay, and let's do 3 and negative 6. So I'm going to add a negative sign here, okay? Again, there are a lot of questions in the textbook. Make sure you do practice, okay, the formula for the slopes. And let's just label this. So this is x1, y1, which is the first point. And then the second point is going to be x2, y2. Okay, when you denote the slope, make sure you are using the lowercase m, okay? I'm going to write the formula here. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so in this example, we're going to just do the slope, okay? So the y2 is negative 6, and the y1 is 4, so minus 4. So just like this, okay? And then the x2 is going to be 3, and the x1 is 2. I always make sure I do label, okay, both of my points. A lot of the time students are mixing up the numbers with the formula, so just keep on doing it this way. Okay, so I'm going to write our answer going across here. Okay, so we're doing negative 6 minus 4, which is negative 10. Okay, and over 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. So our slope is just equal to negative 10. Okay, everyone sees that? Okay, and you notice basically, okay, that I just need to put this into the formula and it'll give me my exact answer for the slope. And then I can also use the slope in one of the points, and I can put it into the y equals mx plus b to find the equation of the line. All right? Okay, so let's try one of the questions from the textbook here. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Okay, so in this question, okay, the equation of the line is given to you, and it is y equals 3x plus b. Okay, so this is the equation of the line. So I can see that the slope is given to me. And determine the value of b when the line passes through each point. Okay, so let's do point 1. So point 1 here they give you as r. R is 2 and 1. Okay, so all we're doing here is we're looking for the value of b, which is the y-intercept. And that's usually what you have to do, okay, when you're looking for the equation of the line. So we're taking our point r. I'm just going to label the x and y. We're going to plug this into our equation. So the y value is 1 and 3 times the x value here, which is equal to 2, plus b. Okay? So 1 equals, we're just doing 3 times 2, which is 6. So 6 plus b. I'm going to take the value of 6 over to the other side. So make sure you're changing the sign. So this is 1 minus 6 equals b. And b is equal to negative 5. Okay, everyone sees how to do that? Okay? And that's actually all you're doing here. It just says to find the value of b. And so the y-intercept in this case is negative 5. Okay, so let's try that for one more question here. So let's put it on the side here. Okay, and this time they're giving us another value, the value of k, which is negative 1 and 4. Okay, we're using the same equation here. So let me just write it out. Y equals 3x plus b. Okay, if you ever get confused in terms of the coordinates, okay, I make sure I label it. Okay, so the x value here is negative 1 and the y value is equal to 4. So we're going to plug it in. So y is 4 equals 3 times the x value, which is -1, plus b. Does everyone see how to do that? Okay, so all we're doing is just substituting the x and y values into this equation. Okay, so 4 equals 3 times -1, so -3 plus b, like that. Okay, then you're going to take the -3 to the other side, and it's going to become positive. So 4 plus 3 equals to b. Okay, and then b is equal to 7. And that's my final answer. Okay, and so in this case, actually, you could just state like your final equation as well. Okay, so if I'm stating my equation in this case, it would be y equals 3x plus the b value, which is 7. Okay, so it would be 3x, y equals 3x plus 7. Okay, and in the first example that we did here, I can put therefore y equals 3x minus 5, okay, because the value of b we got here was -5. Okay, so again, don't put two signs. It's not y equals 3x plus -5. Okay, some teachers don't like seeing that, so just put one sign. Okay, so if the b value is negative, that's the y-intercept. It's just equal to -5. Okay, are there any questions there? Okay, good. So let's try one more example. Okay, this time the y-intercept is given to you and you're actually looking for the slope. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. So you can see that there are a lot of variations, okay, of these questions. Make sure you do keep practicing, okay? The slopes unit is the main unit in grade 9 math, okay? All right, so the equation of a line is given here. So I'm going to put y equals mx plus 2. Okay, so I can see the y-intercept here is +2. Determine the value of m, or the slope, when the line passes through each point. Okay, so let's try one point here. So point D is given, it's 12 and 5. Okay, so let's put in brackets. Like that, okay? I'm going to just label the x and y so we don't get confused. So the y value is 5 here. We're going to sub it back in. And it's going to be 5 equals m times 12. Okay, so the value of x given with this point is 12. And then plus 2. Everyone sees that? Okay, so make sure you're watching the signs very carefully. Okay, I'm going to take the 2 to the other side. So you notice on the right side the 2 is positive. Okay, take it to the other side. It's going to be negative 5 minus 2 equals 12m. Okay, so this looks like it's like simple equations. That's why you do cover the unit on equations first in grade 9. Okay, it should be the first or the second unit that you cover. So 5 minus 2 is 3 equals 12m. Okay, and then you're going to just divide it by 12 on both sides. So I'm going to divide it by 12. Okay, and the 12 is going to cancel out. Okay, so this is the value for m here. And make sure you just reduce this. Okay, so I could divide the top and bottom by 3. So it says reducing fractions, so 1 over 4. Okay, and this is the value for m, okay, that we're getting here. Everyone sees how to do that? Okay, so I noticed the value for the slope can be a fraction as well, as can the y-intercept, okay? But it's more common for the slope to be a fraction or even like a negative slope for a certain line, okay? So let's try maybe one more question here. Okay, I'm just going to make a line. So let's try the next point, okay? This is point S, is given as 1. Okay, and -3. Okay, and we're going to use the same equation here. So let me write the equation. So y equals mx plus 2. And I have my x and y point. Okay, so what we're going to do is just plug it into our equation. So the y is -3 equals m. The x is 1 plus 2. Okay, so I noticed that this point has basically, the coordinates are really small. So it's pretty simple to calculate the value of m, okay? So it's going to be -3 equals m plus 2. The 2 is positive on the right side. Take it to the left side and change the sign. So it's going to be -3 minus 2, which is equal to m, okay? Again, if you're not too sure in terms of the integers, I would just make sure I use my calculator so I'm getting the correct answer every time, okay? And so in this case, m is going to equal to -5. Okay, so just like this, All right, sometimes the equation will be given to you. And just like you saw, okay, in the first example we did there, we had to solve for the value of b, which was a y-intercept, all right? And in this example, we had to solve for the value of m, which is the slope, okay? So either the slope or the y-intercept can be given to you. If the question says to find just the equation itself, I don't even have to give you part of the equation. I can just give you 2 points that lie on the line itself. Okay, so in that case, you would just use the formula for the slope. You would find the slope first, okay? And then you can plug it back into the y equals mx plus b equation. Anytime you use the y equals mx plus b equation, I only need 1 point and I need 1 slope, okay, in order to find the equation of a line. Okay, so the teacher has to provide you with either one of those. Okay, so it won't be a question where you're not able to solve for the equation of the line. All right. Okay, so that looks good. And if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks. Bye.